Good day, everyone. Today I will discuss to you lesson number 8, classifying the types of ecosystems. So last time, we have discussed the different defense mechanisms of living organisms. So we actually have three way of defense mechanisms. First way, we have three. First one, we have the warning coloration, then mimicry, and cryptic coloration. And for the second way, that is the chemical defense. And for the third way, that is the predator satiation. Now we will be discussing the different types of ecosystem. So lesson objectives, at the end of the lesson, you student can describe the components of an ecosystem and appreciate their importance in the biosphere. And second, classify and identify the salient features of each type of ecosystems. What is an ecosystem? The term ecosystem was coined in 1935 by the British ecologist Sir Arthur George Tansley, who describes nature systems in constant interchange among their living and non-living parts. So the interaction of living organisms and their non-living environment makes up an ecological system, or what we call the ecosystem. So the ecosystem, in our first lesson, we have learned that it is composed of biotic and abiotic components. So the biotic component, it includes like the producers, like plants, consumers, like animals, and decomposers, such as bacteria, yeast, and fungi. On the other hand, the abiotic components are the physical factors and chemical substances that greatly affect the presence and success of the biotic components. So you have learned in the previous lessons that biotic components, those are the living organisms, and for the abiotic are the non-living. So these two components are important and they are interrelated because biotic component needs the abiotic components to survive and reproduce. So physical factors include light, temperature, rainfall, humidity, topography, and all inanimate matter. And for chemical substances, it include water, oxygen, carbon, and other complex nutrients such as lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins that are also very essential in the biogeochemical cycles. All ecosystems, aquatic or terrestrial, consist of three basic components, which derives their inputs for the abiotic or physical environment. The three components are producers, consumers, and the abiotic or the non-living matter. So those are the three components of the ecosystem. First, we have the producers, or it also called autotrophs. These are the energy capturing base of the system. They are capable of fixing the energy from the sun and manufacture food from the simple organic and inorganic substances. So example of this are the plants. Now what is a consumer naman? The consumers or heterotrophs, on the other hand, utilize the food stored by autotrophs, rearrange it, and finally decompose the complex material into simple inorganic flow is regulated and is stabilized in the system. So look at this picture here. So heterotroph are the consumers. So autotroph make their own food. This is a plant. And then example of heterotroph is animals. They consume food made by an autotroph. In the heterotrophic component is subdivided into two subsystems. These are the consumers and the decomposers. The consumers are either herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. So recall tayo, you have learned that herbivores from the word herbal, so they are plant eaters, carnivores, flesh eaters, and the omnivores is a combination of a herbivore and carnivore. So they are plant eaters and animal eaters. So we human belongs to the omnivores. And then the decomposers, however, are bacteria and fungi of decay that break down dead matter into inorganic substances. So that's the difference between a consumer and a decomposer. The ecosystem concept fits into an ordered view of nature that was developed by scientists to simplify the relationships between organisms and their physical environment, a field known as the ecology. So at the top of the hierarchy is the planet's entire living environment, known as the biosphere. Within it are vast categories of living communities known as biomes that are usually characterized by their dominant vegetation, such as grassland, tropical forests, or deserts. The biomes are in turn made up of ecosystems. So let's now discuss the different types of biomes. We actually have six: rainforest, taiga, temperate deciduous forest, grasslands, desert, and tundra. So let's discuss first the tundra. Tundra has long, harsh winters and extremely short summers. And tundra is the coldest of all the biomes. Tundra comes from the Finnish word tunturi, meaning treeless plain. It is noted for its frost-molded landscapes, extremely low temperatures, little precipitation, poor nutrients, and short growing seasons. So that is a tundra. Next, we have the taiga. So for a taiga, it has a little precipitation and not suitable for agriculture due to its short growing season and poor mineral in the soil. The taiga biome is also known as the coniferous forest or boreal forest. This biome typically has short, wet summers and long, cold winters. Precipitation is moderate in the taiga. It gets plenty of snow during the winter and plenty of rainfall during the summer. So this is an example of a taiga. So this is not suitable for agriculture due to its short growing season. Next, we have the temperate deciduous forest. Has hot summers, cold winters, and soil rich in organic material. So as you can see in the picture, there's a lot of plants and trees since the soil is rich in organic material. So in a temperate deciduous forest, it is a biome that has many deciduous trees which drop their leaves in the fall. This forest also known as broadleaf forest because the trees have wide flat leaves. Temperate deciduous forests lie in the mid-latitude areas of the earth between the Arctic poles and the tropics. Next, we have the tropical rainforest. It is often located in areas with ancient, highly weathered, mineral poor soil and presence of high temperature and abundant soil moisture. So, you can see this in movies. Kita nyo itong view na to. And tropical rainforests are the most biologically diverse terrestrial ecosystem in the world. The Amazon rainforest is the world's largest tropical rainforest. It is home to around 40,000 plant species and nearly 1,300 bird species, 3,000 types of fish, 427 species of mammals, and 2.5 million different insects. So, Amazon rainforest is the world's largest tropical rainforest. Next, we have the grassland. Grassland has hot summers, cold winters, less precipitation, and provide ideal growing conditions for crops like corn and wheat. Grassland are found where there is not enough regular rainfall to support the growth of a forest, but not so little that desert forms. In fact, grasslands often lie between forests and deserts. Depending on how they are defined, grasslands account for between 20 and 40% of the world's land area. So this is a grassland which you can plant, and this is ideal for growing conditions for crops. Last, we have the desert. Desert has low water vapor, which appear as dry areas, and few deserts are so dry that no plant life occurs. So mostly you see the camel and cactus. That's the only plant that survive in a desert. So the largest desert in the world is the Antarctic Desert. It is the largest desert in the world. It is located in the southern hemisphere in the continent of Antarctica. It expands across 14 million kilometers or 5,500,000 square miles. So those are the 6 types of biomes. So we have the tundra, taiga, temperate deciduous forest, tropical rainforest, grassland, and the desert. We also have the types of aquatic ecosystems naman. We have the freshwater and marine. So freshwater divided into two. We have the lentic and lotic. So lentic refers to ecosystems with standing water. Example of this are ponds and lakes. For lotic naman, refers to ecosystems with flowing water. These are creeks and rivers. So lotic ecosystems are characterized by flowing waters. So examples includes rivers, streams, brooks, and springs. So in lotic ecosystem, the oxygen is higher due to the continually moving waters of the current, and the water is clearer. The flow of the water is different depending on the area of a river or stream. And for the marine, a complex environment subdivided into intertidal zone, the benthic or the ocean floor, and pelagic or the ocean water environment. So these are the two types of aquatic ecosystems. Okay, so let's summarize our lesson. The ecosystems are classified into many types and are classified based on a number of factors. We will discuss major types of ecosystem and will try and understand on what basis these classifications are done. It is also essential to know the different factors which differentiate the ecosystems from one another. Ecosystems can generally be classified into two classes, such as natural and artificial. So for artificial ecosystems, these are natural regions affected by man's interferences. They are artificial lakes, reservoirs, townships, and cities. For natural ecosystems, these are basically classified into two major types. They are aquatic ecosystem and terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, these are the frequently asked questions. Is it possible to have more than one type of ecosystem in one particular area? So any given place may have several different ecosystems that vary in size and complexity. A tropical island, for example, may have a rainforest ecosystem that covers an underwater coral reef ecosystem. So what are the examples of lentic and lotic ecosystem? So sabi natin kanina, lentic refers to ecosystems with standing water, where lotic is flowing water. The term lentic actually come from the Latin lentus, meaning slow or motionless. So it refers to standing waters such as lakes and pans or swamps and marshes. While lotic naman came from the Latin lotus, meaning washing, refers to running water habitats such as rivers and streams. So lentic ecosystems are freshwater ecosystems characterized by standing water. It includes ponds and lakes, while lotic ecosystems are characterized by running water such as rivers and streams. So that is the difference between lentic and lotic. Okay, so let's have this quotation. When demand for resources increases, it is necessary to give priority to needs over wants. So what does this mean?